look who's back at the boat. Jack and I are getting started today, starting to disassemble the mast. So we've got all of the rigging labelled. What I want to do is get all of the, well, just start taking bits off it and see how we got on for a start. So if you look, Jack, before we took the mast down, I actually labelled everything. So this is the port aft lower.
Okay.
Right, so we're going to start by just taking this one off at the top, and then we can coil it up.
Right, well, Andy and Jack are working down there. I'm going to carry on doing work on the pilot house roof. But first of all, I need to save this little bee before I take the tarpaulin off. Come on, little bee. Oh, maybe jump. Oh, I am slightly allergic to wasps. I'm not sure if I'm allergic to bees, and they do scare me. But I also like them. Come on, little bee. Don't fly in my face, please. Fly away, please. There you go. To start with, I need to get this tarpaulin off.
Yeah, here's the lowers, look. And we've got, oh, the lights that we've got are to replace these.
Yeah,
You see?
but those ones don't move.
No, you can't adjust these.
No.
Oh, look who's up there. What are you doing?
Taking the tarp off.
Taking the tarp off, yeah.
I've just rescued a bee that terrified me.
Behind there's a split pin.
Yes, I can.
And you can see that if you pinch these together, you can then turn it round and pull it out from this side.
Do you want me to pull it out for you?
So what you'll have to do first is use the pliers to squeeze those two together. Right, try and push it through.
Oh.
Squeeze it together and push it through.
Yeah.
Now spin that round. So one of the things that you could do here, look, Jack, is slip and bash your elbow on there. So just be careful when you pull that off.
I like my elbow not hurting.
Ideally. There you go, one. Now, watch what happens.
Those ones are easier.
This is called a split pin, and this is called a cotter pin. So can you get the cotter pin out?
Yeah. Easy.
Good.
Easy.
Then take the shroud out.
There. Come out. Papa, don't you out?
And wiggle that while you're trying to pull the other. That's it. Takes the strain off it. Great stuff. So now we've got these two shrouds. Put that one back in. Save the cotter pin. I'll tell you what might be better actually, if we put the cotter pin in these, then it just means that we definitely won't lose them. I'm just a bit worried that that's going to fall out and get lost. And if we've got it in here, we can tape it up and then it definitely won't get lost. Is it going to fall out on its own?
No.
No. I don't think so.
Spying on you for a minute.
Pardon?
Spying on you for a minute.
So just to have a more in-depth look at what we've got here, we've got swaged fittings on the top, which are in excellent condition, no corrosion at all. There's barely any tarnishing even. On the bottom we've got stay-lock fittings or something similar. I'm going to put the bottle screw back on. What I want to know is we did have toggles on a lot of these. Now my initial impression was that the toggles had been put on because the shrouds, because these had been cut too short and the rig was too short. But having done a bit more research, spoken to a few people, I have a feeling that the toggles were actually put on deliberately to kind of counter shear forces so that the stay can take strain in different directions. I'm going to have a chat with Herb from Rigging Doctor about that. So what I wanted to talk to you about was the rigging that we've got. The rigging that we've got was pretty much new before the boat was lifted out. It has had no use. I mean, what use it has had will be very light coastal cruising. And I know that the protocol is you change your rigging every 10 years or whatever it is. And certainly for insurance point of view, we probably would need to do that. But I can't see any corrosion on the rigging at all. I know you're a big fan of synthetic rigging. And
yeah, but I mean, I'm also realistic. So
yeah, sure. So we can't change it right this minute. And the other thing that we found was that there's a lot of toggles on the rigging. And my initial feeling, until I came across your article, was, oh, somebody made this rigging wrong and it's too short and they've put toggles on to compensate.
Yeah, when you start seeing like 6 toggles in a line, then it was too short.
It seems to me like both backstays have got toggles. My inclination at this point is to think that maybe this was done on purpose.
Yeah.
Certainly the lowers, all the lowers have got these. The capstays don't.
You should have toggles on all of them. So the whole issue, when you don't have a toggle, then the fitting starts to take up the force, and it can't, so then it cracks. So the toggle gives it that universal joint. The fact that the cap shrouds didn't have toggles might be that they either cut those a little too long and then didn't put toggles, but...
Oh.
Oh, that's so annoying.
Oh.
There's nothing more annoying than a sneeze that didn't happen.
Continue.
Yeah,
Right.
but the lowers definitely, they do a lot more motion, and then therefore definitely need the toggles. So some thoughts, since like our Auberg has been sitting for years, but when it was 2 years old, when the rigging was 2 years old, the rigging was already cracked. And there were swatched fittings, and it was brand new. It was just rigged when we bought it. So I was like, okay, we'll keep the steel for now. And 2 years old, it had cracks in it already. So the swatches, the bottom's cracked first. So the fact that it's top is a plus. But if you have the funds available, maybe cut the swatch off and put either Staylock or Norseman, stay with the same brand, but put a compression fitting at the top. That'll be huge.
Oh, better than the swage fittings.
Oh yeah, so swage is actually the worst, but it's cheap and fast, so people like them. But the compression fittings, those can go a long time. Like actually, you can replace compression fittings, the cone inside and the wire, and you keep the entire housing because it just lasts.
I see. Right. Okay.
Right.
We've actually got a box full of the compression fittings that came with the boat.
Yeah.
So somebody at some point was intending to do that.
Yeah, so cut off the swage right at the bottom, keep as much wire as you can, and if it's short, add toggles to bridge the gap. But that'll be a lot better.
Oh wow! So that's fantastic news. But yeah, in terms of replacing the entire rig now, my sort of feelings again are put the rig back on exactly as it is, and then we can. The mast is not going to fall down. Unless we end up finding ourselves in a kind of Eric Andera NBJS kind of Force 10, which we're not going to do. We're going to avoid those conditions. No, deck stepped.
Deck stepped? Okay.
Deck stepped. But
still, if you're not going out in hard stuff.
And then we can obviously re-rig the entire boat when we get somewhere a lot cheaper. Because the UK is frighteningly expensive for this kind of stuff. That's it. Pull it nice and tight. Lovely.
That's it. I think I have, figured out why it wasn't coming out. Because I forgot to do the back end. So yeah. Starboard back stay, port back stay, baby stay, port aft lower, port forward lower, starboard forward lower, starboard aft lower, starboard cap shroud, port cap shroud.
Melissa has just got back with drinks and stuff. And the question I want to ask you, Melissa, if you come and have a look, we've got all of the shrouds and stays off, apart from the forestay with the roller reefing. What I want to discuss with you, and we maybe will discuss this during the day, is should we disassemble the entire mast? As in take everything off? That's the debate, really. What are we taking off and what are we not?
I don't know. I mean, the rivets.
We're not going to, no, I'm not going to start drilling out these monol rivets at the minute, but everything else, winches, shall we take more off and then see how we are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take the winches off.
It's a bit of a debate as to how much we pull this mast apart. I think the next thing I'm going to do is start taking the spreader lights off and then disassemble the spreaders themselves, just because it makes the mast lighter and easier to move around.
Yeah,
Next thing.
Less likely to lock them and
Yeah.
stuff.
So spreader lights and spreaders. We've arrived on the boat this morning to find presents from somebody.
Jack.
Heat shrink.
Heat shrink.
There's not even a note to say who this is from. Wire strippers.
Ooh, nice. Everyone likes a good pair of wire strippers.
Hose clamps.
Nice.
Tie wraps.
I've got some giant tie wraps.
Sanding pads for the little mouse sander. Circlips. I've got a special tool for doing these.
What do circlips do?
I'll show you when we come to use them.
Okay. Chain.
A wood carving disc.
Oh, wood
Ooh,
carving.
nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're nice. They're
Deadly.
deadly, but they're very nice. I've never used one. I've always looked at them and thought I'd like to get one of those, but with my track record I'll probably kill myself, so I'll be very careful with it. More circlips, different size. Electrical fittings.
Lovely.
That's so kind, and there isn't even a note to say who it's from. What's in there?
Ooh.
A tap and die set.
Tap and die set.
Yeah, I'll show you how to use that.
That.
What have we got in here? Oh, we've got...
Ah, I think we know who this is from.
Yes.
What's that?
I can't remember the name of the person that said they were going to do this, but I'm going to put their name on the screen now. Thank you very, very much. These are spreader lamps.
Spreader lamp.
Yes, they go
They
on
go
the
on
mast on the spreaders,
That's right, Jack. Yeah.
Oh.
and then you can angle them so that they
Wait,
point.
how do you wait, they're over there.
Yeah, I know. You go up the mast and somebody stands at the bottom, and you go a bit further forward, a bit further back. You get them where you want them, and they shine on the deck so that you can. Oh, that's going to help my knees and your knees. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Knee pads.
That's fantastic. And what else is in there? There's more stuff. Well, this is so generous.
Ooh. What's that?
That is
Giant.
some sticky self-sealing tape,
Oh,
I think.
That's...
These are for the die grinder.
Yeah.
Oh, nice
die
little
grinder.
polishing pads.
Die
then
grinder,
there's some
polishing
sponges.
pads
Polishing pads.
and cutting and sanding pads.
Then there's some cutting
Multi-tool blades
Oh, wow.
for the multi-tool.
That's amazing.
Hang on. More heat shrink,
pads. Ooh, nylon.
more tie wraps, terminal ends.
What?
This is incredible.
What end?
And what's this?
Oh.
Hole
wow.
cutting saw.
Andy's in heaven.
Wow.
Yeah, just don't kill yourself.
That's amazing. No, you don't kill yourself with those. Those are just for cutting holes. That's
But don't
pretty hard to hurt yourself with one of them.
put one of those.
Well, yeah,
Well, yeah,
you'd have
but
to put it into yourself, Jack.
It cuts. You put that on the drill and you saw a big hole through with
That's
that.
so kind of him.
So kind of you whose name was on the screen. I'm so sorry. I don't remember the name,
You know
but it's on the
who.
screen. Or it was a second ago.
And we assume all this stuff is from you, so thank
It's
you.
from, you
I'm
know
assuming
who.
it was all from the same person because there was no note with it, so we'll assume that it was from the same person. Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
When's it first? Blue one or the red?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. So isn't one of those time bomb things? Cut the wrong one.
No, it's not like a bomb.
I know.
Cut the wrong one, it won't matter.
Yeah.
Cut the red wire! Don't cut the green wire.
Cut the blue wire.
You can leave that on if you want. What was that?
Let me drop the drill.
Roller reefing forestays off. Nice. Next is all of this gubbins then. Try and get all this masthead electronic stuff off without causing too much destruction. Yeah, this is actually broken, so it's going to be another thing we need to replace. We need a new masthead, anchor light and tricolour, anchor light and tricolour, whatever you want to call it, tricolour, tricolour. What's happening now is we're tidying up these cables that come out of the bottom of the mast and come out the top. Some of these go halfway up for the spreader lights and the different lights and different equipment on the mast. So what we've got to do is we don't want to pull them all out today, because when we're in another time we're going to attach what's called a mouse line to each one. So we're going to attach a piece of string, pull it all the way through so that we can pull a brand new piece of wire, because we're going to put brand new wires in the mast. Okay?
Yeah.
What I want you to do, Jack, is cut them all off to the length of the shortest one, like that. So that bit can go in the bin. And then when you've got them all at the same length, it doesn't matter about the labels because we're going to rewire everything anyway. Curl them all up and put some tie wraps around to keep them nice and neat.
Yay!
So as you've seen, we're not doing mouse lines for the electrical cables today, but what I am doing is pulling out some of the old running rigging and popping through some mouse lines for the running rigging. Mast is more or less stripped down. Still got more to do, but what I'm trying to do at the minute is tackle this. This is the sort of in-mast furling system. It's not in-mast, it's an external add-on to the mast, as you can see. Now, I've got to get this cap off because it's seized inside there, but this is aluminium and all of these screws are stainless, and every single one of them is absolutely locked up. I've been trying the electric input driver, not that one, this one, and the handheld thumb pit angle grinder, and it's just shattering these bits. They're just, you know, they're just breaking. So the only option now left to me is to snip the ends off the screws and take this home and just drill them out. Cool. Here we go. Cap. The top of the roller drum, which actually does turn. And what's broken off is this section here, that's going to be bad. This section here should have another shackle on it to pull up the mainsail. So therein lies our issue.
So we may be having slab reefing?
No, I think I can fix it.
Yes, I'm aware I'm wearing a silly hat, but the sun's out. Problem is, taking these out, some idiot who would do such a thing, painted the inside of the pilot house and painted it over the nuts, just making it a little bit harder. I've called for backup. Jack's going to come and help me. What I need you to do, I'm going to hold the nut on the inside, and you very slowly need to do that. Yeah?
Okay. Okay, which one?
This one. Done, Jack. Help get all these out. We just need a bag to put these in. Right, where have I put my spanner?
I'm just sleeping on the job.
I'll just show you this. It's not looking the best, but I think it will clean up okay. Let's have a look. Obviously this had a major issue around this hatch.
Okay, hello, Jackham. A train has just arrived. Are you still recording? I think you are. No, please don't dangle it over my boat. I'm not crazy.
I think Jack's having fun watching them lift this boat up. I haven't been able to use any power tools on this, but I'm going to be back Sunday. The reason I haven't is because it's a bit windy. I don't want all the dust and rust blowing everywhere, so it's too windy to do that. So I've just started bashing with the chipping hammer. Unfortunately, there is going to be a bit of work to do on this one, but overall it's not too bad.
That's one end. I had to move up the top end of the mast because they were shifting the boat with the crane. So I'm back down here now, and this is this cable system that I'm talking about. It's very old. I would really like to replace this whole system with a winch and a rope, but we can't afford new winches at the minute. We've got some sheet winches, and I'm constantly looking out on eBay for sheet winches. Sheet winches I think will be okay for now. They're not great, but they'll be okay. But this one I think we really do need to change. It's just going to be a matter of cost at the minute, so we'll have to just wait and see. The other one I'm going to try and get off and see if we can see if I can service it. I failed. I was going to strip this winch down and service it, but I've got a new stripping ring to put on the top as well, but I can't because I haven't got the correct tool to go down the inside of there. Pants. Never mind. So I think the next thing, these two sheave blocks here are running nicely. That one needs cleaning up. Can you see what I mean about this steel cable though? I want to replace that with a rope, and the sheave block will take a rope, so that's not going to be a problem. But let me flip the mast back over and we'll have a look at the ones the other side, the halyard sheaves for the Genoa and the staysail. I've got to flip the mast over again to do that. So in here we have got some old Tufnell blocks, look, and they are knackered, and I'm very worried about how we're going to get at them. Maybe they're not blocks, maybe they're just like bushes of some sort, but I'm very worried about what we're going to do about them. Oh, there's an end cap here, maybe that's the pin to get at these. I have a feeling it might be. Right, let's tackle that, and then Melissa needs some help. So I'm going to try and get this coupling off, this here, and then I'm going to try and get that off, and we're going to have a look at them. It's another one that's completely seized in. That's the problem when you've got stainless into aluminium. It just is impossible to get it back out again after a few years. Well, it started raining again, as you can see, typical Wales, so we're going to have to stop now. That might mean that this carries on in the next episode, or it might mean that it carries on in 5 minutes. But what have we achieved? Well, very simply, the mast is disassembled, mostly. The top of the in-mast furling is disassembled. We have mouse lines replacing the running rigging. We have the spreaders completely off the boat. We have all the standing rigging off the boat, labelled and ready to be inspected by a rigger, possibly even replaced. All that old running rigging is ready to go in the bin. The cables are all tidied up, ready to be replaced with new electrical cable. The bottom of the mast looks to be in great shape, no splits, no cracks in the aluminium whatsoever. A lot of these pulley blocks are going to need replacing, or at least servicing and freeing up. I've failed to get this winch apart because I haven't got the right tools with me. I would really like to replace this steel halyard system for the main with a rope halyard and a different type of winch. And in the meanwhile, Melissa has been working on the pilot house roof, and she'll show you what she's achieved.
Basically made some holes in the boat. I've taken the 2 hatches off, started chipping away at the rust, and cover them up with perspex and the tarpaulin.
So that's amazing, we've done fantastically well. It's now actually properly raining, so I'll go and get a quick goodbye to the episode, and then I need to put all my tools away.
Before we go, I'd like to thank all you... Hi. Before we go, I'd like to thank all of our patrons and also people that have bought us stuff on Amazon and a Pro Marine store.
Big special thanks to the gentleman that left a bag of goodies here.
Yep.
Melody.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.